Hello ladies, and welcome back to the journey. If you're new here, welcome. This is my channel where I share our journey on building a family through infertility, IVF, and adoption. Today I want to give you Evangeline's 9-month update. So I'm filming this a little bit early, which is very out of character. She isn't technically 9 months until like 2 weeks from now, but I wanted to actually be ahead of schedule for once, and lots has changed since her 6-month update, which was my last one. I will link the playlist up there. Okay, there's so much to update you on. It has been a few months. I'm gonna go through her physical changes and development changes, and then we'll get into some of the stuff like pediatrician and doctors and quarantine and daycare and all of that kind of stuff. So, real basic, she is weighing 14-ish pounds right now, and she is getting taller. She's in 9 to 12 month clothing, not because she's chunky, because she's not chunky at all really, but because she's getting taller. So we'll see if she fills out over the next few months or just continues to sprout up. We'll see. She is just a really tiny petite baby, so I'm interested to see how that all balances out. Oh, she is so much more vocal right now. She has some sounds like da and ba that she's doing, but oh my gosh. My favorite thing is what I'm calling like the Raptor Screech, and I'll see if I can capture it. I'm not sure if I've been able to get the Raptor Screech on film.
Can you reach a little further?
They're just these long, high-pitched squeals, and she's happy. And she's real proud of herself when she does it. I think partially because I just start cracking up. And so she keeps doing it because she likes making me crack up. It's my favorite new little thing right now. Other new things, let's see, physical development-wise, she can go from her back to her front, and she can go from her front to her back now pretty seamlessly.
Yeah! So close! So close, Mama! Yeah, can you get the camera?
Look at that turn!
Oh, she lives!
Recovery!
Oh, she wants the camera! She wants it! Oh.
Oh, I'm over here now.
Oh.
Break time.
Break time. Oh. Good job.
That was a good turn.
That's a good roll. Can you get it?
She isn't crawling, but she has all of the components. She can definitely turn around when she's on her stomach to reach different things. And she also will do, I guess, like barrel rolls. She'll roll to get where she wants to go sideways, which is funny. I'm like, girl, just put the arms and the legs together. But the legs are definitely the thing that she is not putting together. She reaches and tries to pull forward, but she can't do it with the legs. So we're just on the cusp though. I think in the next few weeks, that'll definitely happen. The other thing she is doing is she's learning how to pull up onto things. So the bassinet that we keep her in the kitchen is short-lived. It is short-lived because she is reaching on the sides and pulling, and she can't stand up, but she can kind of get to an almost kneeling position. So we're very close to having to decommission that and switch to a proper playpen because she's going to be standing up on things soon. But mainly the biggest thing is that her hand-eye dexterity is really improving. She can snatch things so fast now comparatively to a few months ago, and she can lean and recover.
Yeah!
really well. So she can reach as far as she can, lay all the way down, leaning forward, and still manage to recover all the way up. So that's eliminated some of the frustrations she's had with not being mobile. But like I said, it's just how quickly she grabs things now. And she's using her left and her right hand almost equally, which brings me to a question of, like, do they like show left and right-handedness this early, or is that developed later? That's a research question for later. Yeah, so leaning, grabbing, which has helped with our infant-led weaning. I'm still collecting footage as we go every time that we feed her that I can remember to of her eating, but we've introduced quite a few new foods, and I have to say she understands what's going on now. She understands how to grab it and that it's food, and she wants to put it in her mouth, and she's actually getting some food down, right? At the beginning, they just mush it around and it mostly just comes back out. But now she's actually eating and, getting full from that. So we still maybe only do foods every other day. Again, that's something that I really want to ramp up now that she is really good at actually grabbing it. It's way less frustrating for her. She's excited for it now. Along those lines, I think I've shown a clip, I'm not sure. I'll put in a new one if I haven't. She is, we're teaching her how to drink out of cups. Mainly because it entertains the absolute living daylights out of me. It is so cute. I can't handle it. And we're getting a lot of improvement there, actually. I was ready to toss that cup initiative out the window and switch to sippy cups if it was a complete failure, but it's not, actually. She definitely knows she has to grab it with both hands. She knows I won't let go of it if she doesn't have both hands on it. So that's interesting to see that she's grasped that concept pretty quickly. And she doesn't just fling it towards her face anymore, which is why I was holding it in the beginning. Now she'll grab it and gently push it towards her face, and she knows to, keep lifting to get more water. I still hold on to it to prevent any face splashes, but mostly it's when she's done drinking or she has a mouth of water, she wants to throw the cup down. So that's what we're working on. That's why my hand's there in all those shots, is because otherwise it would just end up on the floor. I think I mentioned last time that she started to notice Elsa, and that has grown into a pure infatuation with Elsa. She just wants her to be close to her all the time. She wants to pet her a little bit, but I think she honestly gets so excited when Elsa gets so close to her that she just freaks out and forgets that. But Elsa's fine with it. As long as we're petting her too, she'll put up with literally whatever. So the baby grabbing her fur and leaning on her, she doesn't really care. So that's been cute, but when we come home, she cares about Elsa more than me or the husband. So I'm just dude, I want some love too. But I can't complain too much. She is definitely getting more affectionate as far as wanting to be held. And when we're on the ground, sometimes she'll lean and she'll hug my leg and I'm cuddle her, and it's so cute. So we should have had her second flu shot and her 9-month shots done or on the calendar, but given the recent pandemic, all non-essential doctor's appointments have been canceled. So no flu shot for her, no second flu shot for her, and her 9-month vaccines are on hold, which I didn't realize that kind of counted as not essential doctor's visits, but okay. So whenever this is over, we'll get those on the calendar again, and maybe by then I'll have found my new pediatrician, because if you've watched my other updates, I'm not really keen on ours currently, but that's on me to find a new one and transfer everything and check insurance, and isn't it all just a pain? Speaking of change though, we got into the new daycare early, so we've done a full week of working from home. Full week? Full 2 weeks? I've lost track. But the husband got sent home to work from home, and then a few days later I got sent home to work from home, and at the end of that week the daycare said we're closed. Only a few of their facilities were open and only to essential workers, which put a pin in that. So we did Monday with Evangeline home, and it was just kind of a disaster. I mean, we're both engineering consultants, which is a high stress, high demand job, and a 8-month-old is also a very, attention needing thing, which isn't bad. She deserves attention, right? Even if she would just sit there and play by herself all day, that's not healthy for her. It doesn't make me feel good as a parent. So we did Monday, and I was like, this isn't working. So I said we'd give it a few more days, but I also called the new daycare because we were supposed to start them April 1st. And I was like, hey, can I just get on your mailing list? I know you're closed. I just assumed. And the lady kindly emailed me back, the director, and said, no, we're open to essential workers, which I found out I was. I do engineering consulting currently for the government and for a branch of government that is deemed essential, and I am doing IT and technical initiatives that are directly supporting emergency COVID protocols. So I am essential now, which is weird because I'm not like a nurse or anything. So I was like, can you please check to see if, we can get Evangeline into daycare? Do you have a spot? I don't want to take it from anybody, but I would really appreciate it. Because the alternative was I was going to do a few more days of baby at home, but then I was going to ask my boss if I could reduce my hours. I'm like, you can't both be working full-time and do full-time at-home parenting. That's why we have daycares, right? So she's like, yeah, let me check. And she called me back and she's like, yeah, we can get you in when you want to start. And I was like, tomorrow? She laughed at me and she's like, yeah, okay. And I have to say, again, if you've watched my other ones, you know that I've had struggles since day one with our old daycare. And I am already feeling so much more confident in this daycare, even after just a week and a half. They, first of all, knew about cloth. I went to go explain cloth diapers to them, and they just looked at me like, what are you doing? We're competent. We can do this. So we're using cloth diapers and cloth wipes at that daycare now, which is great. They have protocols in place, obviously, to monitor. Everyone's getting their temperature taken as soon as they enter, and no one's allowed back to the classroom. So they're isolating as best they can. And obviously, since we have a child in daycare, we're really taking the self-quarantine very seriously, considering we have people in the family that are high risk and the grandparents are dying, but I can't risk it. If she was, just home with us and that was her only exposure, but she's in a daycare, which is full of germs, and they're doing the absolute best they can. But I'm like, we have to take it so seriously. Everyone should take it seriously, but we're taking it very seriously because she is highly susceptible to being a carrier and just being exposed. Anyway, point is, new daycare, love the teachers. They just seem so much more with it. That's not to say I don't like everyone at adult daycare. I did get the number of one of the teachers before I left that I really liked, so she could babysit. But everyone else, I was just like, oh. And it just gives me so much more peace to be able to put her in drop her off at daycare and not be like, oh, she's getting subpar care. That is not the feeling you want as a mom, to go back to work. It was leading to a lot of guilt. And so anyway, point is, that's an improvement. That's a silver lining to come from all of this. We got into the new daycare earlier. It's also cheaper, which is always nice. A few follow-ups from the last update if you are just coming off of that. Our trip to Arizona got canceled, so Evangeline hasn't been on a plane. And we did get her birth certificate and her social security card and her college fund started. So in case you don't know, you need your birth certificate to get your social security card, and you need your social security card to, first of all, file my taxes, but also start the college fund. I'm just really happy because I think that is the last paperwork thing I have to do for a while. I think that's mostly it. She's done some really big strides forward in physical development. So we've got some minor strides forward in, talking and verbalizing, as well as eating. And otherwise, we're just trying to stay safe and sane in this time. I hope that everybody is doing what they can to keep their family safe and help their neighbors in need. It is a time for us to come together, right? Anyway, all right, ladies, until next time, keep on fighting.